Watch this video before you pull for Shenhe. With the Shenhe and Ayaka banners coming up recently, people have been asking me who to pull for. So in this video I'm going to be going through all the facts you need to know before pulling for either of these characters. Now it's a bit weird how Hoyoverse have decided to add Shenhe to this banner, as there are other characters who haven't had a rerun in a while like Eula, who'd make much more sense being paired up with Mika, who's also a Knight of Favonius and works close with her. But anyway, that's not the point. First let's talk about Shenhe and her kit. I made a TikTok a few days ago where I showed you guys how to build your Shenhe, and I had many comments asking me why I built it that way, which brings me to my first point. Shenhe is super easy to build. In the video I explained how you need all your changeable main stats to be attack percent, and that attack percent is the most valuable stat followed by energy recharge. This is because Shenhe actually scales off attack percent and can convert it into cryo damage, meaning that you don't need a cryo damage piece. Energy recharge is also super helpful as it allows her to get a burst off quicker, so be sure to have that in your substats. As Shenhe is so easy to build, it might be much more appealing to free-to-players or people that can't be bothered to farm tons of pieces and wasting your resin. One misconception people have about Shenhe though is actually she's best as a support character, and is great for buffing cryo characters like Ayaka, which is something you need to consider when pulling. If you have some spare primos, then you might want to consider going for Ayaka as well, as they almost complement each other, with Shenhe being able to almost double the amount of damage Ayaka outputs. And the same could be said for other cryo characters too, like Ganyu. So when you pull for Shenhe, remember that she's not supposed to be a DPS, and if you try to build her like that, then you may have some dissatisfying results. But if you are looking for a great cryo DPS, then maybe consider Ayaka. Yes, her design isn't as aesthetically pleasing, but she's one of the best DPS characters in the game. And if you care about the amount of damage you do and making your team stronger, pulling for Ayaka is almost a no-brainer. And like I said before, there's many reasons why pulling for both Ayaka and Shenhe is a good idea too. Ayaka also recently had her new skin released, meaning that you can always dress her up in some of that Fontaine drip, meaning you can use her elemental burst in style. One downside that I kind of mentioned is Ayaka's playstyle is quite boring, which might put many people off as it is a valid excuse, especially if you're just playing casually. But if you want your team to be the best, then she's a must-have over Shenhe, and can carry your teams in places like the Spiral Abyss. If you have both characters or are planning on getting both characters, then you definitely want to wish on the weapon banner, because it doesn't exactly matter what weapon you get, as either of them would be great, with the Misflitter being great for Ayaka and the Calamity Queller being great for Shenhe. But to be honest, if you want to focus on the character banners, that is totally fine too, as there are many great alternatives for both of the characters. With Shenhe working really well with the Favonius Lance, which you can easily refine and works extremely well as a 4-star weapon. And for Ayaka, the Black Sword can work really well too, as it's super easy to get on the Battle Pass, meaning that you can claim it every season to get a guaranteed refinement. And it also gives you a little bit of healing too. As for artifacts, typically Ayaka needs Blizzard Strayer to boost the amount of cryo damage, and Shenhe needs a 2-piece artifact set like 2-piece Gladiator's Finale and 2-piece Shimanara's Reminiscence, in order to utilize the 2-piece attack percent boost they both give. Now both of these artifact sets are quite easy to get, as Gladiators and Blizzard Strayer you're able to get in boxes, meaning you could farm for Shimanara and use the bad ones to get a better Gladiator piece. And for Blizzard Strayer you could farm for Blizzard Strayer and then use the bad ones to gamble for even better Blizzard Strayer pieces, making it quicker to farm. And it also means that both of their artifact sets are easy to farm, meaning there's no difference in ease of build, apart from the stats, where Ayaka has lower odds of getting the artifacts she needs as they are more specialist, whereas Shenhe's attack percent stats are quite common and easy to get. Now if you really have no clue on who to wish for, I would tell you that if you're in need of a brilliant DPS who can work really well in many teams and is just overall excellent for a new or free-to-play player, then Ayaka is your best choice, as you should definitely wish on her banner as she can be a great damage dealer and carry many of your quests that you might struggle with. But if you love to use cryo teams and need a good support character that's easy to build, then Shenhe is a great choice, as she'll boost your overall damage output of your teams and doesn't soak up all your resin in order to get those absolute perfect pieces. Granted, she is a very limited character, and as I said, you can't build her as a DPS, but she is a very amazing choice for a very niche job. Now if you're wondering who to pull on based on character design, then you already know my answer. And if you're wondering who everyone else will be pulling for, my best bet will be on Ayaka, as Ayaka is a much loved character in the Genshin community and many players will be keen to get their hands on her constellations. But not only that, as I mentioned before, Shenhe feels like she was forcibly placed on this banner, and many players have noticed this and may choose not to wish for her, purely based on the fact that she's got nothing going on around her, compared to Ayaka, who recently got a skin which people could buy right after pulling her. And she also had the Warrior Spirit event, where fans got even more interaction time. You could argue that we got to see a lot of Shenhe during the Lantern Rite event, but for a lot of players that feels like ages ago, and it won't really help them when deciding on who to pull for. But my advice overall is if you're just playing casually, just pull for the character that you like more, whether that be their playstyle or their character design. And if you're pulling to improve your team, then Ayaka is probably your best bet, as she is very flexible and can bring a big difference to your teams, whereas Shenhe is better for someone who already has a big list of characters that she can buff. I hope this video has helped you to make up your mind on who to pull for in the upcoming banners, as I know a lot of players struggle to understand the character's unique abilities. And if you have made your decision, then let me know in the comments below which character you're going to be pulling for and why. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and subscribe, as it lets me know you enjoy these kind of videos, and I'll make more. And be sure to check out any of my previous videos. See ya!